ko ng ating Statistics and Probability Week 5. Okay? Week 5 yan It is your random sampling. Okay? So from the word itself, random sampling. What words can you associate with random sampling? So yan, sa ano pa lang yan, sa words na yan. Random sampling. Ano kaya yung pwedeng word na pwede nating associate in order to define or describe what is random sampling? Anyone? You can always try, no? Sige, I'll give you the first one, no? When I hear the word random sampling, I associate this with survey. Yung root word ng sampling, sample. Kayo kaya, ano kaya yung words na pwede nating i-associate pag sinabi nating random sampling? Group. Okay, pwede ang group. That is natural, tama? Joseph, natural? Okay. Okay, that is, yes. We can associate random sampling with groups. Okay? We can also associate random sampling with population. Okay? So, I'll give you a scenario in order to visualize what random sampling is. Have you been to palengke? Nakakapunta naman kayo ng palengke ngayon, tama? Or dati pa, kahit hindi pa nag-pandemic, nakakapunta naman kayo ng palengke, tama? Opo, yes. Yes. So, mapapansin nyo yung mga nagtitinda ng pakwan. Napapansin nyo ba yung mga nagtitinda ng pakwan? Di ba doon sa hilera ng kanilang cart, meron silang mga pakwan doon, tapos meron lang nakalabas na portion ng pakwan. Tama ba? Nakikita nyo ba yon? Yung portion lang. So, yung mga portion na yon, kapag ikaw na ang bumibili ng pakwan at nakita mo, mamula-mula. So, ibig sabihin parang matamis yung tinda ni kuya. You are now persuaded to buy yung mga watermelon. Tama ba? Parang may factor kasi yun Pag maganda yung sample na binigay sa'yo, mapapabili ka. Tama? Ngayon, yun ang tinatawag nating random sampling. Let's say this is the population ng kaya ito yung mga pakwan ni kuya. Yan, halimbawa yun. Now, nag-take lang siya ng isa, okay? And ito yung pinisent niya as your sample. Okay? Now, this part is now what we call population, and this is now our sample na kung saan nababase natin ang characteristic ng population base doon sa sample. Another example ng random sampling, mga free taste. For sure, nakatikim na kayo ng mga free taste na mga products sa SM, sa supermarkets. Tama ba? Mga free taste. Yun. Yun na yung mga random sample. Kasi randomly, kukuha lang sila ng product nila, tapos i-prepare nila yon into a small bites. Tapos ipapatikim nila sa mga customers. Then yung mga customers magkakaroon ng mai-infer nila or mako-conclude nila, masarap yung product. Base lang dun sa sample. Ngayon, maengganyo sila to buy a bunch. Okay? So that is your random sampling, no? So this is the definition, no? You have your population, sample, sampling, and simple random sampling. So when we say population, it refers to the entire group that is under study or investigation. Okay? So let's say for example, di ba may practical research 1 na kayo ngayon? Tama? Dun sa practical research 1 na yun kasi, it is qualitative pa lang siya. Okay, wait lang, inaayos ko lang tong stand kasi bumababa siya yon. Qualitative pa lang siya, pero parang you are now parang engaged to study a group, no? Let's say for example, you want to study the group of senior high school students of Santo Cristo Integrated School. Okay? Meron kang grade 11 and grade 12. Can you tell me honestly na itong grade 11 and grade 12 nito ay may interview isa-isa? Hindi ba? That's why, ito na yung sample. Ang definition ng sample is a subset taken from a population either by random or non-random sampling techniques. Okay? So later on, we will talk about these two, these random and non-random sampling techniques. Okay? So sabi dito, a sample is a representation of the population where one hopes to draw valid conclusion from about the population. Okay? So I will use the senior high school students of Santo Cristo Integrated School as the population. Okay? And, okay, you want to study the study habits of the ito magandang magandang qualitative research to. Study habits of grade 11 or grade 12. Okay? And ang total population natin so far is 369. You cannot interview one by one, di ba? Now, kukuha ka lang ng sample. Okay? Yun yung sinasabi ng population and sample. Okay? So, yung process na yon, yung pagkuha natin ng sample out of a population is now what we call sampling. Okay? Another example is that, napapanahon ngayon, that is the National Election Survey. Ikaw ba, okay, kahit botante ka or hindi, natanong ka na ba sa survey? Marami sa atin marahil hindi pa, di ba? Kasi we are not the part of the sample na kinuha nila sa population ng Pilipinas. Napakalaki ng population ng Pilipinas, di ba? So, kung hindi tayo natanong, hindi tayo part ng sample na natanungan nung nasa survey. Okay? Ganun lang siya, no? Now, your simple random sampling or random sampling is a selection of n. Okay? Pag may nakita ka ng small n, ito na yung denotion natin na sample. No? Pag big N siya, population siya. No? Which is the subject of the investigation or experiment. Okay? Where each sample point has an equal chance of being selected using the appropriate sampling technique. Okay? So, these are the four words na halos maririnig or mababasa natin pag nasa sampling na tayo. You have your population, sample, sampling, simple random sampling, or random sampling. Okay. Klaro ba ang mga definitions? Do you have any question? Okay. Now, eto nga, pupunta na tayo dito na ano nga ba yung mga random and non-random sampling techniques? Of course, di ba, parang hindi ka naman agad-agad magde-declare ng sample mo without properly following techniques, properly following methodology para lang makakuha ka ng sample mo. Okay? So, let's start with our, this is your sampling, no? Sampling techniques, okay? Your sampling techniques is subdivided into two. We have your probability sampling and your non-probability sampling. Okay? So your probability sampling has 5 types, while your non-probability sampling has 3 types. Okay? So we will discuss them one by one. So let's start first with our probability sampling. Okay? So the probability sampling is an objective type. Okay? Lagay ko na yung differences nila dito. Objective type to, no? When we say objective type, no, meron siyang parang it based on the number. Okay? It based on the methodology. It based on the procedures. Whereas your non-probability sampling, it is based on subjective. Meaning, nasa tao. Tao ang pinagbabasihan. This is O. Kahit na anong gender niya, anong age niya, basta tao. Tao ang pinagtutuunan ng pansin ng non-probability sampling. Okay? So, our first type, no, dito muna tayo sa probability sampling. I just differentiated the two sampling techniques, no? So, our first probability sampling, it is what we call the lottery sampling. From the word itself, lottery, ano kaya ang pwede nyong ma-infer sa lottery? Numbers, yes, Miss Ibanez, very good. Natural, you're raising your hand. Okay, so when we say lottery, no, tama siya doon, you have your numbers. Sabi nito ni Miss Ibanez, and sabi ni natural is equal chances, no? So they are both correct. So in lottery sampling, no, you are given equal chances. Or pwede pa natin dito draw lots. Let's say for example, sa loto, pag nag 656 ka, ibig sabihin nun, 6 grids, no? Pag may 656 ka, 6 grids yan na may A, B, C, D, E, F ka. Each grid has a number of 1 to 56. And you have the liberty to choose your combination. Wala naman kayo narinig na, taya na kayong loto, ang taya nyo lang etong number. Taya na kayo ng weteng, tayaan ang ilagay nyo lang number is 2 and 22. Walang ganon. Kaya siya equal chances kasi meron kang kalayaang pumili ng combination mo at meron kang kalayaang meron kang kalayaang pumili ng combination mo at lahat kayo ay mabibigyan ng pare-parehong chances whether to win or lose. So kung nasa iyo ang luck, no? Mananalo ka ng loto kung natamaan mo lahat ng combination. Pero equal chances to all. Okay? Yun yung lottery sampling. Another example ng lottery sampling, let's say for example, you are an employer. Okay? May mga trabahador ka. Let's say yung trabahador mo 15 workers. Tapos mamimili ka ng top 2 employee mo. Okay? So, lahat ng 15 ito, titignan mo lahat ng record nila, lahat ng kanilang achievements, okay? Lahat ng kanilang credibilities, no? Titignan mo lahat. You are giving them equal chances. Okay? Para sa ganoon, no, kung gagamit ka man ng ranking method, gagamit ka man ng iba't ibang method in order to determine your 2 best employee, then so be it. Now, this is lottery sampling. Okay? Another example of lottery sampling we have. Let's see. Halimbawa sa Christmas party, nagbubunutan kayo. Diba? Lahat ng mga pangalan nyo ay naka-roll sa paper. Then, bibigyan kayo ng chances na bumunot kung sinong munito or munita nyo. So, that is lottery sampling. Okay? So, do you have any question with lottery sampling? Before we proceed to our second random sampling. Is everything clear ba? Kahit raise na lang hand yun kung okay. Okay tayo. Hello, nandiyan pa kayo? Okay. Sige. Thank you. So, our second sampling technique, dito ko na siya lagay, no? Is what we call systematic sampling technique, no? Or systematic sampling. So, sa systematic sampling, kailangan na nating mag-compute ng interval. Okay. Or ito ang ating notion K. Okay. So kung titignan nyo yung module ninyo, yung K ay meron siyang formulang population size divided by sample size. Bakit ba kailangan nating i-calculate ang interval? Para sa ganoon, malaman mo kung ano na yung next sequence mo. Let's say for example, meron ka lang first, second, and third, no? Ang K nito is 1 lang. Kasi ang sequence mo ay ang pagitan niya ay isa lang. Do you agree? Isa lang yan. Yung difference ng 2 and first, isa lang. Third and second is isa lang. Okay? So we have to compute for your interval. So, ang formula lang ng interval is population size. You divide that with your sample size. Okay? So, for us to visualize that, let's solve a problem. Okay? A science teacher decides to select a sample of 10 students. So, you are a science teacher now, no? Kailangan mo daw ng 10 estudyante. So, lagay ko dito na 10 students. From her large lecture class containing 300 students. So, this is your large lecture class. Pipili daw siya ng 10 estudyante na maging part ng kanyang experiment using systematic sampling procedure. Okay? So, sa mga future problem, kahit hindi sabihin systematic sampling procedure yan, ang palatandaan mo is pag meron siyang identify the students selected for the experiment at meron siyang starting point. Okay? Kung meron siyang starting point, kung may dineclare siyang sequence, systematic sampling procedure na siya agad. Okay? Now, let's compute first for our K here. The formula for our K is population size. You divide that with your sample size. Oh, what is our population size in this problem? Anyone? Okay, natural. What is the population size? Okay, very good. That is 300, no? What is the sample size then? It is now 10. Okay? So, you compute for the K, you just simply divide 300 to 10. What is the quotient? 300 divided by 10. Okay, natural? 30. Very good. So, you have 30. This is now your interval or pagitan sa Tagalog. Okay? Now, sabi niya dito, no? If each student has an assigned number from 1 to 300. Okay? Let's say, for example, meron kang, ito yung list of learners mo or list of students mo. Okay? So, ninumberan daw niya ng 1 to 300 lahat yon. Okay? Say, for example, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, and so on and so forth, no? Ang starting point niya is yung pangatlo. This is your 3. Okay? Paano natin malaman yung next sequence? Add 30. So, kung ang starting point mo is 3 plus 30, ang pangalawang respondent mo is the 33rd student. Oh, dalawa na yon. O 8 pa ang kailangan mo kasi kailangan niya 10, di ba? Or next nating respondent, you have your 33 plus 30, it would be now the 63rd student. And 63 plus 30, it will now be the 93rd student. Oh, and so on and so forth hanggang makuha niya yung 10. Following the interval of 30. Did you get that? Did you get how the systematic sampling procedure? Okay, thank you. So, ang crucial lang dito, you have to compute first for your sample size. Then, see to it na meron siyang sequence like this at meron siyang starting point. Population size ay sample, no? Malaki divided by sa maliit, no? That is your computation for your interval. Okay? Do you have any question with our systematic sampling procedure? Okay. So, our third sampling procedure is now called stratified random sampling. Okay? Ito siya. So, when we say stratified random sampling, ang meron naman dito is, meron siyang homogeneity. Mr. Candelaria, are you raising a question? Okay. Meron siyang homogeneity sa stratified. No? Paano ba natin sinasabing homogeneity? Let's say, for example, balik tayo ng science. Sa science, meron tayong tinatawag na mixture na homogeneous mixture at heterogeneous mixture. Tama? Yung homogeneous mixture, kapag yung dalawang component ay dinisolve mo, mag-iisang phase sila. Let's say, for example, sufficient amount of salt sa water. Mix mo yon, hindi mo na makikita ang salt. Tama? Makikita mo pa ba ang salt doon? Kahit konti lang konting salt lang wag masyado marami. Kasi minsan naging super saturated siya. So kung enough lang yung ilalagay mong salt doon sa water at minix mo, makikita mo na parang tubig lang siya ulit. Though may coloration, pero naging tubig lang siya sa itsura niya. O, example din, pagsangkap ng juice. Yung powder tsaka yung tubig, pag pinagsama mo, magkakaroon na ng kulay. Pero hindi mo na makikita ang powder. So that is homogeneity. One phase or iisang itsura. Okay? So we can classify our sampling through our age, gender, or socio-economic status. Okay? So collectively, these are called demographic profile. Demographic profile. Okay? So, pag nag-practical research to na kayo, yan ang mga isa sa hahanapin nyo. The demographic profile of your respondents. Okay? Especially kung gagawa ka ng correlation studies. No? So, these three, no? Halimbawa, magsasample ka lang sa ages 18 lang. 18 years old. Yung mga 19, hindi mo na sasali. 20, hindi mo rin sasali. Focus ka lang sa 18 kasi you are dealing with homogeneity. So that is stratified random sampling. Okay? So to further visualize what is stratified random sampling, this is our example. Using stratified random sampling, select a sample of 387 students. Ito ang target nating sample. N. Yan. From the population which are grouped according to the cities they came from. So, kahit hindi ko i-declare na stratified random sampling yan, ano ba, wala ito. Itong first part na to wala. Pag sinabi lang, select a sample of 387 from the population which are grouped according to the cities. Homogeneity, nasa iisang city sila. So, alam mo na magsa-stratified random sampling ka na. Okay? At kailangan mo ng 387 daw out of the population given here. Okay? So you have your cities A, B, C, D, no? Sa city A daw, ang population is 13,000. Sa B, 10,500. Sa C, 8,000. Sa D, 5,000. So grand total natin, this is 36,500. Okay? So paano tayo makakakuha ng total of 387? Pwede bang kuha lang ako dito ng 300, dito 80, dito 4, dito 3? No. May formula tayo dyan. No? Hindi ikaw magde-declare pag nasa probability sampling ka. Kaya siya objective based. No? So, in order to get for the population for your CTA, no, ang gagawin mo lang is your population, that is 13,000, you divide that with 36,500, okay? Multiply that to 387, okay? Try nyo i-divide to dyan sa inyong bahay. Yung 13,000, divide nyo sa 36,500. Try nyo siya. Tatry ko din siya, no? Para sabay-sabay tayo. Kahit simple calculator lang siya, masasolve nyo siya, no? 13,000 divided by 36,500. May makakuha kayong decimal na ganito. Okay? That would be 0. Ito muna. Isa-isay nyo lang. 0.35664. Okay? Multiply nyo sa 387. Minultiply ko siya sa 387. No? Ang nakuha ko is 137 times 387. 137.8356. Okay? Question, meron bang taong bilang ang bilang niya is 0.8356? Meron bang taong bilang niya 0.8 lang, 0.5 lang? Di ba wala? Now, round up or round down? Rounding rules. Pag 8 ang kasunod, round up. Tama? 5 pataas. O, pag 4 naman pababa, no, that would be round down. So here, no, we have 137.8356. 8 siya. So, ang kukunin mo lang sa CTA is 138 respondent. Okay? O, yung CTB, CD mo, pareho lang yung gagawin, no? 10,500 divided by 36,500. You multiply that to 387. Oh. Divide nyo muna. Tapos, para hindi kayo nalilito. Divide, then, divide, then multiply. Ang makuha nyo is 111.3288. Oh, mababa ang 3. Mababa siya sa 5. Ah, yes. So, pataas 5, pababa 5. Therefore, round down tayo. 111 tayo. Okay? So, sa C naman, meron kang 8,000. You divided with 36,500. No? Oh. Meron kang 0.2192. So, multiply mo ng 387 yan. 84.82. O, 8 to. Round up. So, ang kailangan mo dito is 85. Then, ganun din sa letter D, 5,000. You divide that with 36,500, 387. O, divide lagi, tas multiply. Ang makukuha nyo na dyan is 53. So, puno ang ating 387. No? Pag-add nyo yung apat na yan, ang makukuha nyo 387. Okay? So, ganon sa stratified sampling. Do you have any question sa stratified sampling? Okay, very good. Now, our fourth type would be cluster sampling. Okay? So, when we say cluster sampling naman, ang difference nga sa ating stratified random sampling is area sampling to. Okay? So, kung sa stratified random sampling, we are focusing on the homogeneity. Okay? Dapat pare-pareho sila at i-group mo sila. Sa cluster sampling, by area na. So, let's say for example, isa kang statistician na gusto mong i-record kung ilan na ba yung number of families sa Tarlac City. Let's say for example, Tarlac City. Malaki ang Tarlac City at hindi mo siya kayang gawin sa isang araw lang. Hindi mo kayang kunin yung census nila sa isang araw lang. Tama? Okay. Ngayon, ang gagawin ng isang statistician to maximize her efforts and to minimize her or his energy is a subdivide niyan or ika-cluster niya yan per area. Okay? Let's say for example, Barangay San Roque muna siya. Oh. Tapos dito, Barangay Matatalaib siya dito. Oh. Tapos lahat sila nun, yung mga na-assign niya na persons per barangay, i-calculate nila yung kanilang data and yun na yung data ng Tarlac City. Area sampling ang cluster sampling. Okay? O, kahit na hindi sila pare-pareho ng age, hindi sila pare-pareho ng socio-economic status, hindi sila pare-pareho ng gender, basta't naka-cluster sila, naka-area sila, that is cluster sampling. Okay? Understood ang ating cluster sampling? Okay. Thank you. And last, no, lagay ko na lang dito yung last, we have multi-stage sampling. So when we say is multi-stage sampling, this is now mixed. Okay? Pag sinabing mixed, pwede mong gamitin sa sampling mo is magka-cluster sampling ka, mag-stratified random sampling ka, magsi-systematic sampling ka, or magla-lottery sampling ka. Basta't halo-halo, that is now what we call multi-stage sampling. Okay? Our example here is the National Election Survey. Okay? Ito yung National Election Survey natin. Malaki ang Pilipinas. Ganyan siya, malawak pala siya, sorry. Malawak ang Pilipinas at hindi mo matatanong ang mga tao na kung botante ba sila o hindi or boboto ba sila o hindi. Okay? So, ang gagawin yan, no, yung mga survey companies, ang gagawin, hahatiin yan per region. O region to. Yung per region, hahati niyan per provinces. Tapos yung per provinces, hahati niyan per municipalities. Okay? Ngayon, yung mga mag-record dyan, no, nasa municipality na siya. O di ba from that, nagkaroon ka ng stratified. Kung stratified man yan, naka-per region siya, region 1, 2, 3, 4. Tapos may population siya dito. Kung municipalities yan, pwede nilang i-cluster sampling yan by cities sila, by Tarlac City, by Capas, by Herona, by Pura. O. So, lahat ng yon ay nagagamit nila for their sampling techniques. So, that's what we called multi-stage. Okay? Nagets ba ang ating multi-stage? Okay. Sige. So, dako na tayo sa ating non-probability sampling. Okay? Pag sa non-probability sampling kasi siya, more on subjective based na siya. Okay? Kung kanina napag-usapan natin siya sa random sampling natin, we are now gearing towards sa ating subjective part. Okay? So first non-probability sampling natin is our quota sampling. Okay? From the word itself, quota. Ano ang pwede nating words na ma-associate with our quota o quota sampling or any example na pwede nating i-relate sa ating quota sampling? Anyone? Limit po sa yes. Very good, Mr. Natural. There is the limit. Okay? May limit na pag sa quota sampling. Let's say for example, isa kang nag-research lang. Tapos, kailangan mo lang is 50 respondent lang na sasagot ng questionnaire mo. Ngayon, sasabihin mo na I will declare 50 lang o 50 respondents lang. Okay? Ngayon, pag naabot mo na yung 50 respondents, then you're okay now. You are now, meron ka ng mga data na hawak. Let's say for example also, pag sa quota sampling, pag ikaw ay isang salesman, ang quota mo per day is 10,000 pesos. Now, pag na-reach mo na yung 10,000 pesos, quota ka na. Yun yung matintawag nila, quota ka na. Kahit sa pag-ibig, pag nakatatlo ka ng heartbreak, pag sinabi lang, nakatatlo ka na, quota ka na. Ganun ang quota sampling, no? Pero siyang limit. Okay? Our next non-probability sampling, by the way, yung kanina, kung nakikita nyo may sumisilip kanina, supervisor yon ng DepEd. Kaya, thank you for answering. Medyo naligtas niyo ako dun. Thank you. So, our next non-probability sampling would be the convenience sampling. Okay? So, when we say convenience sampling, yung gagawin mong paggawa ng sampling mo ay according yon sa convenience mo. Kung saan ka komportable. Let's say for example, gusto mo mag-interview ng mga kabataan at 5 p.m. Or gusto mo mag-interview ng mga sarap na sarap sa halo-halo at summer. No? It is now based on your comfort zone. Kaya siya convenience sampling. Okay? Sarili mo. Kaya nga tayo subjective, tama, di ba? Kaya tayo subjective na ngayon pagdating sa ating non-probability sampling kasi nabibase siya sa tao. Nagets ba ang quota at convenience? Okay. So, bago ko discuss yung pangatlo, let me introduce yung dalawa pa. Actually, 5 probability, tapos 5 non-pro. Okay? Bago ko i-discuss yung purposive sampling, meron pa kasing what we call judgment. Judgment sampling. Di ba sabi ko, subjective na ang non-probability? Judgment mo, sarili mo ng judgment. Halimbawa, gusto mo lang interview ng magaganda or mga payat. Di ba? It's judgment na eh. Medyo may criteria ka na sobrang taas. Kaya siya judgment sampling. Okay? And yung fourth, no, it is what we call snowball. Snowball sampling, no? Pag sinabi natin snowball sampling, ito yung referral. Let's say for example, nasa isa kang baryo. Pag nasa baryo ka, hindi mo naman, yung iba doon, pagdating mo doon, hindi mo kilala lahat. Pero sila magkakakilala. So ikaw na researcher ka, gusto mong i-research yung rural area na yon, itatanong mo na, halimbawa natanong mo na siya na ano yung mga kanyang demographic profile, ganito, ganito. Ngayon yan, after your interview or after your sampling, para mag-proceed siya, no? Tatanungin mo, sino po pa kaya yung pwede namin tanungan dito about sa ganitong issue or about sa kanilang socio-economic status. That is your snowball sampling. So, if nakakanood kayo ng cartoons, di ba? Pag nag-roll sila ng maliit na snow, tapos ginanon-ganon-ganon sa mga mountains, o basta't may cliff, no? Di ba lumalaki yung bilog, no? So, from a small, no? Lalaki ng lalaki ng lalaki yan. Kaya siya snowball sampling. It is referral. Referral sampling. Okay? So, our last non-probability sampling, it is now what we call purposive sampling, no? So, when we say purposive sampling, purpose, meron kang purpose kung bakit mo ginagawa yung sampling mo. Okay? At para magabayan ka ng purposive sampling, usually kasi ang purposive sampling, sa mga small population lang siya. No? Yun yung key term yun, small population. No? Yung mga probability sampling, more unlikely, nakita nyo naman kung gaano kalaki ang mga population na diniscuss natin. Dito sa purposive sampling, more on small population lang siya. Okay? So, eto siya. It is very used in small sample size. No? Choosing samples is based on a certain criteria and rules laid down by the researcher. More likely, itong statistics and probability, magagamit nyo talaga siya sa research. No? Sana, yung mga lesson na tinuturo ko sa inyo dito, ay huwag nyo makalimutan hanggang mag-grade 12 kayo. No? Kasi sa grade 12, doon ang practical research too. At doon na kayo magtatanong-tanong for your mga respondents nyo, yung mga sampling techniques nyo. No? Kaya alam ko din yan kung natatandaan nyo pa yung stat kasi ako humahawak ng practical research too. Okay? Ang practical research one kasi more on siya sa construction ng background of your study, sa inyong mga grammar, sa inyong mga cohesiveness sa paragraphs. Sa practical research too, statistical data tayo doon. Kaya mahalaga ang statistics and probability as we go along. No? May example na binigay si purposive sampling. Sabi nga, this can be used if the sample of the study are deans of universities or area managers of certain institutions. Since the different sampling techniques were presented, the next thing to be determined is the sample size. Hindi dinideclare ang sample size sa isang non-probability sampling. Ito na yung gagamit tayo ng Slovin's formula. Itong formulang to, very helpful to, no, pagdating sa pagkuha ng respondents mo. Slovin's formula, okay? Ang kino-compute ng Slovin's formula is your sample size or small n. Ang formula ng small n is equivalent to n, big N population, over 1 plus n, e squared. Okay? Yung E, margin of error ang tawag dyan. Bakit ba tayo nagkakaroon ng margin of error? Para sa ganon, magkaroon tayo ng allowance. In case na hindi natin ma-meet yung mga number of respondents natin, at least pwede natin masabi, okay, nag-declare po kasi kami ng 5% margin of error. Ganon siya, no? Yun yung importansya kung bakit tayo nagkakaroon ng margin of error. Kasi kung walang margin of error yan, ina-assume mo na lahat ng respondents mo ay mai-interview mo or mabibigyan mo ng questionnaires. Okay? Nakakasunod pa so far? Mag-react naman kayo, guys. Nakakasunod pa so far? Okay, sige. Thank you. Okay. So, paano ba natin kino-compute ang sample size using Sloven's formula? O, gamit lang tayo kasi sabi small sample size, no? Ang total number ng senior high school students ng Santo Cristo Integrated School from grades 11 and 12 is 369. This is now our population N. Okay? We have to determine your small n, that is your sample size. Paano pag dineclare ko as a research advisor na ang margin of error natin is 5% lang? Paano kaya natin to i-compute? Okay, so tuturuan ko kayo step by step, no? So first thing first, pag may nakita na kayo margin of error, divide nyo na siya agad ng 100%. Lagi ko yan sinasabi, kahit nung nasa annuity pa tayo. Natatandaan nyo, pag may nakita na kayong percent, divide nyo na agad ng 100% para makakuha nyo yung decimal part niya. Ipapakita ko din kung paano siya divide. 5 divided by 100. Ganito lang siya. Kaya sabi ko sa inyo, ma-utilize natin ang calculator ng phone. Okay? So, ang E natin, E pa lang to, hindi pa siya E squared, no? 0.05. E squared naman ang ko-compute natin. 0.05 squared ay equivalent siya sa 0.05 times sa 0.05. Multiply ko lang siya ng 2 beses. 0.05 times 0.05. May makuha kayo, di ba? Sulat yung buo, huwag kayo mag-round up. So, yung E squared natin is 0.0025. Okay na tayo dito. Na-solve na natin to. Solve naman natin tong isang term na to, yung NE squared. Your NE here is 369 times 0.025. Multiply nyo lang yung tuloy-tuloy kahit hindi na kayo mag-back-back, no? Multiply nyo siya ng 369, may makuha kayong 0.9225. Yan yung ating NE squared. Tuloy na natin plus 1. So, 1 plus NE squared, no? 1 plus 0.9225 ay magkakaroon tayo ng, tuloy nyo lang din, tuloy-tuloy lang siya sa calculator, no? 1.9225. Solve na ang ating denominator. Nakuha nyo ba yung pag-solve ng denominator natin? Step-by-step process yan. Kung wala kayong scientific calculator, kasi sa scientific calculator, diretso lang kasi siya. I-present ko sa inyo, no? Kasi kung sa scientific calculator, ganito lang siya kadiretso. Nakikita nyo ba? Yan, ganyan lang siya diretso. Tapos equal nyo lang, may makuha na kayong sagot. Pag may calculator kayo. Siyempre, no, given the luxury na mahal nga ang calculator, kaya sabi ko, magagamit natin yung cellphone, no? Ito lang siya. Yan, dire-diretso siya. 1.9225. Okay? So, kung nasolve na natin ang ating denominator, masasolve na natin yung n natin. Yung n na, ba't nawawala? Yung n natin ay, ano yung big N? 369. Divide natin ng 1.9225. Expect natin na mas mababa siya sa 369 kasi mababa to. Ay medyo mataas to as a decimal. 1.9225. Kasi may 1.9225 ka na, no? Kahit isi mo siya, basta't na-note mo na 1.9225 siya, 369 divided by 1.9225, may makuha kang sagot. Calculator, no? So, yung sagot is 191.9376. Wala namang 0.9 na tao, so round up. 192, yung n mo. Okay? So, meaning, no, ang kailangan mong sample size sa ating 369 na population is 192 lang. Given the chance na hindi mo makompleto yung 192, at least nag-declare ka na 5% margin error. Okay? Nagets ba ang pag-solve ng Sloven's formula? May katanungan ba tayo sa purposive sampling? May katanungan ba tayo or wala? Okay. So, last topic na natin to sa week 5, no? This is your statistic and parameter. So, yung statistic, it describes. Dinidescribe niya ang characteristic ng sample, whereas yung parameter, dinidescribe niya ang population. Okay? So, yun ha, ang statistic, dinidescribe niya sample. Ang parameter, dinidescribe niya ang population. Kaya tayo merong X bar at mu. O, natatandaan pa yung mga Greek letters na mu tsaka X bar. Okay? So, yung X bar dito, sample mean. Ito, population mean. Okay? S naman siya sa statistic, no? Standard deviation, sigma. Sigma, ayun eh. Lowercase sigma kasi to. Di ba ito, yung summation notation natin, uppercase sigma yan, ito is lowercase sigma. Okay? Sigma, no? Sigma squared, no? Standard deviation, variance, no? Pag gumamit na siya ng Greek letter, no? Para tandaan yun. Pag gumamit na siya ng Greek letter, parameter na ang sinasabi natin dito. Okay? Pag X lang siya, S, tsaka S2, statistic na siya. Para saan ba yan? Kasi pag gumamit ka ng calculator, no, papakita ko kung nasan siya. Type lang ako ng mga numbers. Yan. May mga Greek letter din kasi sa calculator. When, pag nagkuha ka ng math-related na subject, syempre di mo maiwasan ng statistic, no, sa college. So, may makitang X, SX, tapos yung Greek letter na sigma X, no? So, kung sigma X siya, population siya. Pag S siya, no, sample lang yung sinasabi. Okay? Nakita ba yung calculator? Okay. Now, so, yung statistic, no, meron siyang declared na number. Compared sa parameter, dito wala. Of all, lahat. Kasi nga population siya. Sample, may objective siya, mayroon siyang declared na number. Okay? So, saan ba natin magagamit yan? Ito siya. So, sabi nga, construct a sampling distribution of the mean and a histogram for the set of data. You have 86, 89, 92, 95, and 98. So, first thing first, you have to compute for the... What do we compute there? We have to compute for the population mean. Mag-Greek letter ba ako or normal letter? Pag population mean. Mag-Greek letter ba ako or magna-natural letter lang ako? Pag hinahanap ang population mean. Type niyo sa comment box. Pag hinahanap ang population mean, mag-Greek letter ba ako or magno-normal letter lang? Greek. Very good. Mag-Greek letter na tayo kasi nga, hinahanap natin is the population mean. Okay? So, first, you have to compute for your population mean. Okay? So, your population mean is denoted as mu. Okay? So, your mu is computed as the summation of x divided by the total number of the items. So, you have to add only 86 plus 89 plus 92 plus 95 plus 98 divided to 5. Oh, calculator, cellphone. 89 plus 86 plus 89 plus 92 plus 95 plus 98. You have 457. Okay? Add nyo lang lahat ng numerator, 457 yan. Divide nyo ng 5. Meron kang 91.4. 86, 89. Tama naman, di ba? 460 siya. Sorry. 460 divided by 5, 92 to. Sorry, 92 yan. Okay? 460 divided by 5, 92. Okay? So, yung population mean natin is 92. Okay? Now, yung second step natin is to construct all random samples. Dineclare ba yung sample natin? Okay. 3 observation lang ang sinabi. So, ang gagawin nyo dyan, gagawa kayo ng sample nyo dyan, no? Ang sabi, without replacement and repetition, ascending order. Okay? So, una, pwede mong gawin is 86, 89, 92. Okay, first set mo yan. Pwede ding 86, 89, 95, 86, 89, 98. So, na-accommodate mo na yung tatlo. Pwede mo namang palitan ngayon yung gitna. 86, 92, 95, 86, 92, 98, no? So, napalitan mo na yung gitna, no? Ngayon, try mo naman yung 86, 95, 98, no? Dito, lagay ko na lang dito, no? 86, hindi, 89 na siya dito. Kasi naulit na yung 86. Tapos na yung 86, 89 na tayo. 89, no? 89, we have 92, tsaka 95. Tapos pwede din 89, 92, 98, 89, 95, 98. Tapos yung tatlong malaki, 92, 95, 98. Take note now without replacement. Kukuha ka lang ng tatlo dyan sa 5. Okay? Tatlo sa 5 without replacement or ay end siya. Repetition. So, hindi mo pwedeng pag-ulit-ulitin. Diba? 86, 89, 89. Hindi pwede yon. Hindi din siya pwedeng hindi mo rin siya pwedeng palitan, no? Basta't nandun lang siya sa population size mo, population sample mo na 86, 89, 92, 95, 98. Okay? Without replacement and with the end repetition. Yun ang criteria niya para magawa mo yung sampling distribution niya. Okay? So, per criteria, kukunin mo yung sample mean. Okay? So, here, the sample mean is 89. Paano kunin ang sample mean? Add, divide 3 lahat. Okay? So, dito is 90, 91, 91, 93, 92. Okay? 89. Try natin compute. Go 76 divided by 3, 92 to. Okay. $93 naman siya dito. $94. Then dito, siya magbigay ng 3 doon. $95. Okay. So, ito na yung mga sample mean natin. Okay? Now, after niya, no, kailangan mo kunin yung probability. Okay? So, yung probability ng yung sample mean. Okay? Kuha tayo dito. Wala na siyang data. Okay. Wait lang. Gawa lang ako ng ng blank slide. Okay. So, sa paggawa ng blank slide, itutuloy natin yung pag-solve, no? So, kung meron ka ng mga mean, no? na meron kang 89, nag-range lang siya sa, yun, nag-range siya sa 89 to 95. Okay? So, gawa ka ng table ng 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, and 95. So, yung probability ng x dito, ilan beses ba nag-appear ang 89 out of 10? 10 kasi yun eh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh. Dito sa mga sample mean lang, no? Wag dun sa data. Ilan beses nag-appear ang 89? Isang beses lang siya. Okay? So, yung ating probability nun is 1 over 10 or this is 0.1. Okay? How about the 90? Bilangin natin 90. Isa lang din. Okay? So, this is also 1 over 10 or this is 0.1. You have 91, 1, 2, no? Dalawa siya. So, 2 divided by 10, this is 0.2. Okay? Yung, anong number na tayo? 92, 1, 2. Okay? Dalawa din siya. 2 over 10, this is 0.2. Okay? How about 93? Ilan ang 93? Dalawa lang din siya. Okay? So, we have 2 divided by 10, this is 0.2. Then, yung 94 and 95, tag-isa na lang yan. 1 divided by 10, or this is 0.1 and 0.1. For a total of, this is 1. A probability should not always exceed to 1. Okay? First lesson natin yan. Okay? Next, ang gagawin mo na yan, histogram na siya. I-histogram mo na yung set of data mo. Okay? So, ano ba ilalagay sa histogram? Saan ba nag-range lang yung values ng P of X mo? So, madali na lang i-histogram yan. Meron ka ditong 0.1, tapos dito meron kang 0.2. So, dito magsisimula siya ng 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, and 95. 89 daw, 0.1 lang siya. Dito siya. 90, 0.1 din also. 91.2, medyo tumaas siya, dito siya. Okay, do not overlap your histogram ha. 92, same ano siya, same level as well as your 93 and your 94 is here and 95. So, sorry. Dito siya. Wala to ha, disregard this. So, ganyan ang itsura ng histogram niyan. Okay? So, ganun i-solve ang ating probability sampling. Do you have any question? Dito ha, kailangan nyo kunin yung mean ng per number. Do you have any question on how to solve our probability sampling? Hanggang ano yan ang histogram, do not forget. Okay, wala. So, kung nalilito, balik-balikan nyo lang yung video, no? Okay. So, for your week 5, ang sasagutan is activity 1, 2, 3, and 4. So, yung activity 1, no? Identify nyo muna kung random ba siya or non-random. Then, anong technique ang ginamit? So, let's say for example, number 1, every 10th person boarding a plane is searched thoroughly. May sequence siya, every 10th. So, alam mong random yan. Dash systematic. So, ganyan na makita kong sagot ha. Sa mga digital, okay, capital letter. Do not forget to use capital letter sa pagsagot, okay? Hindi nire-recognize ni Google Form ang naka-small case na letters, okay? So, ganun lang sasagutan yung activity 1. Yung activity 2, no? Ito ay Sloven's formula. Ang iniiba lang niya ay ang margin of error. Sa A, 0.1 yan, no? Ito yung E mo. So, yung E squared mo dito, calculator sa phone, masosolve yan. 0.1 times 0.1, this is 0.01. Binigyan ka ng E squared yung B mo, yung E mo is 0.05. Nasolve natin to kanina, ang E squared nito is 0.0025. Yung C mo, okay, yung E mo is 0.01. Yung E squared nito is 0.01 times 0.01. 0.0001. Yun yung gagamitin yung E squared, no? Now compute for the n of each. Okay? Tapos, answer the following question. What can you conclude on the sample size computed in the problem having the population size with different margin of error? So, pwede nyo sabihin, tumataas ba ang sample size? Bumababa ba ang sample size? It is based on your calculation. Okay? So, yung activity 3, no? 3 examples of parameter and construct a corresponding example of statistic for each parameter. O, wag nyo ibibigay yung definition ng parameter at statistic, no? Example, katulad nung ganito. Ayan. Yung parameter niya, mean screen time of all grade 11 students in Tarlac. So, yung statistic niya, ginamitan siya ng 1,000 lang. Inalis yung all into 1,000. So, ganun siya, no? O, I'll give an example. So, yung parameter ko dito is number of cars or number of red cars passing through MacArthur Highway. So, yung statistic mo, 50 red cars passing through MacArthur Highway. Okay? And so on and so forth. Give 3. Okay? And yung activity 4 is problem solving, no? So, I will discuss on how to briefly solve the activity 4, no? So, but solving week 2 yan. Week 5 yan. So, dito nga sinasabi ko kanina, yung E nyo lang dito ang crucial, no? Yung E, divide nyo na 100 agad. So, may E ka na. Yung E squared mo to. Okay? Now, you will now compute your N. So, yung big N mo dito is 800. Okay? Big N yan. So, yung magiging kalabasan yan is N, 800 divided by, kung ano nakuha nyo dito. No? So, divide nyo lang yan. May makuha kayong sample size. O, ganun lang yung activity 2, no? Itong number 2, there are 10,000 sacks of rice. How many sacks of rice must be distributed to town A, B, C if town A has 15,000 families, town B has 12,000 families, town C has 7,000? Wala siyang sinabi kung ilang ang kukunin mo sample. Diba? Pero sabi niya, kailangan mo daw ma-distribute 10,000 sacks of rice. 10,000 sacks of rice to be distributed to town A, B, and C. Okay? So, lagay mo dito, town A. Town. Yung heading mo, town, tas A, B, and C. Number of families. Next column mo yon. So, lagay mo dito is 15,000, 12,000, and 7,000. And this is 34,000 all in all, right? O, paano kaya natin ko-compute yun? Ilan kaya madidistribute dito sa A out of 10,000? You compute for the ratio. So, that is 15,000 divided by 34,000. Multiply 10,000. May makukuha kang sagot dito. No? So, 12,000 divided with 34,000 multiplied to 10,000. May makukuha kang sagot dito. 7,000 divided by 34,000 multiplied to 10,000. May makuha kang sagot dito. Then, pagka total itong tatlo, dapat 10,000 siya. That is your number 2. So, for your activity 4, parang yung last problem lang natin. Kunin nyo muna yung population mean. Add lahat ito, then divide to 2,467. Add, lagay ko na yan ha. Add nyo muna, then divide to 7. Yun yung mu natin. Tapos sabi niya, gagawa ka daw ng n equals 5. So, without repetition and replacement, gagawa ka ng table. 5, 8, 11, 14, 17, without repetition. 5, 8, without replacement. 11, okay? Pwede mong gawing 20, tsaka 23. Pwede maging constant mo yun ng dalawa, tapos papalit-palit mo na lang, no? And so on and so forth. Then, get for the mean. Paano kunin ang mean? Pag-add yung 5 yan, tapos divide sa 5. May makuha kang mean dyan. Tapos yung mga mean mo, ititabular mo siya. Okay? Ito yung mga sample mean. Let's say, for example, ang range ng mean mo is divided by 5 o 11. Let's say, for example, ang 11 to 24 yan. Ilang beses nag-appear yung 11 dito sa sample mean mo, bilangin mo siya out of kung ilan yung nagawa mo. Let's say for example na nagawa mo dito is 22 lists. So yung sample mean mo and yung probability ng sample mean mo is 11 divided by 22. This is 0.5. So make sure to add all of that. Dapat 1 yan. Hindi yan mag-exceed ng 1. Then you do your histogram. Kung ano lang yung range ng P of X mo, yung ilalagay mo sa Y, then yung X-axis mo, yung 11 to 24 mo. Then, do not overlap. Okay? Ganyan mga ganito ang itsura niyan. At wag nyo lalagyan ng spaces. Kasi pag may spaces siya, bar graph siya. That is your week 5. Do you have any question? Mr. Ronquillo, yes? Sige, send ko yung page 8 ngayon, no? Hindi na naman na-print. Sige, send ko yung page 8. Pwedeng pa-announce per group chat ninyo as a section na yung page 8 ng statistic ay nasa statistic group. Or pwedeng i-forward nyo na rin siya sa GC ng inyong group chat. Kasi marami ang hindi nakasagot ng page 8 nun. Nung nawala yung page 8. Na? May question pa ba? Hello? May question pa ba? Okay. So kung wala ng question, kindly open your camera and lahat na nag-attend, pakilagay +10 sa inyong module, no? And yung screenshot ninyo, i-send nyo sa akin, tapos sabihin nyo attended live lecture, no? Okay, kindly open your camera now for our photo op. Open camera please. Saan na yung iba? Open camera. Okay. Saan na yung iba? May iba pa hindi pa naka-open ng camera. Last na, patapos na tayo. So, 1, 2, 3. Okay, isa pa. 1, 2, 3. So, kung wala na question, no, thank you for attending, no? And I'll post the recorded session on the YouTube channel, yeah? Thank you. Bye-bye. Sayonara.